Good morning, Thanksgiving friends. How we doing this morning? Just jumping out here to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. See if anybody's around. Want to do a little hangout this morning. Not too worried about it. Just wanted to say hi to all my folks out there. So, I don't know what you guys are up to. Everybody's already gone for their Thanksgiving festivities. This took a hold on
She said you had like a crowbar. No, I had a little tiny bar. I mean, like a little screwdriver, but my keys are right here because I just wanted to see my dog, bro. Do you think I can show them and start with it? It's crazy. Can I give it a try? Yeah. Crazy, like it's gonna bite my hand off? He bites me, and he bites him. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
only bunch of that channel too. All right. Somebody here that's on the hang up. Anybody wants to jump in? Thought somebody was going to do a hangout. I know Tom Llama did. Hey, good morning, Ben. How you doing, my brother? Somebody talking about here this fine Thanksgiving morning. Can you hear me okay? That you hear that TV too much?
When the police start pulling you over, you pull over. You don't keep driving home. Okay, well, whether you pull over here or pull over
Got my ass backwards here, but I don't know.
I'm going to get your license and insurance, okay, for your license. I think you get your license. You don't have any kind of, do you have any kind of...
Yeah, I was just sitting here and I was like, well, I might as well just throw one up. I thought Don was going to do one this morning. Hey, there's Robbie Matt. What's up, my brother? Getting a few in here. Yeah, I thought Don or one of them was going to do a hangout this morning, so... Yeah, I don't know. I just figured I'd jump on. See how everybody's doing. Yeah, I just seen that, Ben. That's cool. I was going to watch that as soon as I'm done here. And, I don't know. Not much going on today. I'm going to try to take that print off today. I've been worried about it. I'm going to break it down. Somebody's garbage out of the way. I've been up and down all morning.
She didn't want to anymore. Just looking at her. I'm going to listen to you stand up here and yell through.
Get this to turn. It's too close to the camera. Yes. I'm going to have to do it the other way. Bring this one here down. This one you can see there. Well, so yeah, here. Hey, Derek, how's it going? Trolling for dollars. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Well, thank you for the chat. I just stop the chat on, huh? Anybody want to jump on in? See how this here goes this morning. Let's see if everybody wants to do this evening. I'm still getting ready. Something for everybody to jump in and celebrate happy Thanksgiving. Today's supposed to be like for me. Hey, there's Robert. Good morning, Robert. How you doing? That's looking for my cell phone. So I get that. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like today. Alright, let's see what's 34 degrees right now. No, 31 degrees. I have 37 degrees. Sweet.
You know, he said that female Thomas
It's not going to be too bad today.
At one point he said she pointed them, but you know, when I see it there, it's very unlikely she tossed it into.
I don't know how this one here is going to come off, you know. That's one to go with the current. We're good. I'm working on it. Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it, guys? I'm gonna start background sound. That's my daughter watching cops. Sorry about that. I'll try to get it down a little bit. Move my microphone way down. So, hey Eddie, how's it going? Schmidt, what was that? Happy Thanksgiving. Well, it's a very large print and used. I haven't tried that one yet, but no, it's just school glue, man. Just school glue, but you know, it's easy. I mean, this is a big ass print. You know, the tornado. You know, and it's diagonal and it uses the whole bed. But no, it's all super glue here. None at all. People out about everybody else. Really debate whether or not I was going to do this. Somehow I got that little thing. No. Did you just turn that back on?
Okay, it does look a little suspicious that you kind of.
Some of them are just loud as hell. Sorry about that, guys.
No. I highly doubt that, sir.
Well, I did on this one because it was almost a 4-day print, and I really didn't want it to come off. So, and then I ended up messing it up anyways. Then it should come off halfway decent. Just get the little spatula underneath it there. Yeah, this will work just fine.
And so it's going to be positive for heroin. David, do you understand how bad that looks?
Alright, I'll get her. Moving the whole printer around, you know. Background noise is all you hear. I wonder if this ain't using the right microphone. This might be using the wrong microphone for some reason.
What happened with the Molly? That's Molly? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's using the wrong microphone. That's a good reason why.
He's being arrested for gross misdemeanor. He also has one up for the arrest.
That one should work. Is that one better? No audio. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get it fixed. I was using one of my 920 cameras for some reason. But that should be better, right? Yeah, way better. All right. Thank you for letting me know that. I did not look at that this morning. If anybody else jumped in, I guess if I have my headphones plugged in, it would be kind of sweet. Back to my stress. It's a cup. Spatula. And around somewhere. I think she's up there right now. And crap everywhere. Nothing's what it's supposed to be. I do have a banana though, just in case you need it. Yeah, banana. Yeah, this one here looks a lot better. There we go. I came off these and I thought, hey, red light, how's it going, my friend? I think I can pick this up a little bit. Get it out of my freaking head. Here, I'll mess it up. Oh, this is the 3D. Oh, yeah. Shattered the hell out of that glass. That is heavy, man. Wow. That is crazy. Candy. Feel that print. Better use two hands. And yes, that's another mirror. That's why I've been kind of not taking it off yet. I don't know why, but I think what happened, because I didn't hear it break, but it was 7 years of bad luck. You know how many years of bad? You haven't been watching me very long, maybe, because I've got about 65 years of bad luck. Because boy, oh boy, let me tell you what, I've broken more mirrors than anybody you've ever seen. You can ask a lot of these. So you yeah, you get used to that if you watch me. All this support stuff, yeah, there's a lot here. But then it's also trying to go around the parts that are supposed to be in. You want to see how the print is going. Yeah, I didn't know. I think when it cooled down, it cracked. That's what happened. You know, because it's such a large print. Because when I shut it off, I could hear it, creaking and cracking and creaking. Hey Lou, how's it going, Randy? Ronnie? Sorry about that. So, and I don't think I'm going to have to hold much glass to use. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. There's nothing on here. Absolutely nothing. No glass on here whatsoever. It's just cracked. That's all. Just cracked the glass. Nothing came off. There's a little bit right there. A good piece of here. There's a little chunk there. So that would be somewhere on here. There's a little bit. Yeah. So, oh yeah, right there. And look at that. You know what's stuck right there? Is on the brim. There's just a little piece right there. Right? Yeah. Plastic. Sticks. Yeah, I know it. Yep. So, yeah, when I'm printing this big stuff, I guess maybe not. No, maybe no more glue, but that's all right. He says I've got stock. So, something right there that's supposed to stay. Oh, yeah, this is going to be fun to take off. Ain't it? This is going to be better than unwrapping a Christmas present. Yeah. Take it down step by step. This was, and other pieces are going to have more print sticking to it, so. It's going to be fun, that's for sure. Here's part of the window. So there's part of the window. I can see part of it. Yeah, this is the 3D print Dr. Stoughton. At 123%, because that's how the bigger I could make it, because you can see it fit on my board. And this, it stopped 17 hours short. Hey, man, how's it going? How you doing this morning? Unboxing, yeah, it's a DeLorean. Or the assembly DeLorean. Keep a minute or two unwrapped, right? And then you gotta be careful not to pry on stuff that's supposed to stay. Print actually is all right. It's got some motion in it. Man, you gotta be careful. Oh, snap, man. I took that off. Oh, I gotta find it. There it is. All right. I'm gonna save this piece right here. Man. There's another part of it. Yeah, dang it. Cut that off. It's breaking on me. I need this part. Brittle bastard. And this is kind of why I told him about this stuff. It's just a pain in the butt. Don't tase me, dude. Don't tase me. I'm just gonna have to really take it easy on this stuff, Doc. I don't know. Hey, how's it going? What's up, John? How you doing this morning? This fine Thanksgiving morning? And I saved them pieces. Yeah. It's definitely going to take a minute to unwrap. Oh, Snickies, there's two parts. That's right. I got to find another part now, too. It could be buried anywhere in here. Sit there and look through all this crap. There it is. Oh, yeah, there's more of them, too. There's part of it. So hard to tell what's what. That's not. I'm going to try to save all this infill because I want to weigh how much was wasted. Hey, Ben, how's it going? Happy Thanksgiving. That's pretty much why I'm doing this stream. Everybody can get together and tell each other Happy Thanksgiving and watch me break my glass, break my print. 50-hour print. So 8 hours. Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be. Hopefully, she runs good. Don't redo your system when you're doing that because you might unplug it and stop it, like I did. Oops, that looks like part of somebody. It's supposed to be over here. No, not a part of it. I have to get a baggie because there is probably, I would say, 1 2/3 kilo sitting here. What I would say should be something right about that. See, I had problems with these things on the small one too, so I know about this problem. You might have to take them off. Take them off and just print them separately. Which might be all right. Somebody could try them a different color. You just gotta be slow. Shortly. Turkey cooking. Yeah, no, yum, yum. I can't wait. We're going to the nursing home where my mom is for Thanksgiving today. I don't even know what time it's supposed to be, so that ain't my job. That's my wife's job. All right, this is what I printed on another one. Right on the glass, as you can see, but not at least here break. All right. There's another camera mount that I feel what his name be. But I hate to make it fun of me. Hard enough for me to see what I'm doing. Because, yeah, all of these ones are always so loose and they slide around, so he designed this one. This one's a medium. And he made 2 different clips here for taking that down, depending on the machine. It's depending upon what you. Now it's really hard to move. But you just gotta find the right ones. So I think he labeled these wrong. Alright, get it on there. Yeah, let's see what I'm just seeing that holds really good, and then he designed for the, which I messed up. This is for get onto the 2020. Clips on and holds tight. Yeah, no, I am generally going to take my time. And stuff like this, I just forgot about. These pipes along the side here. You guys really can't see them. These pipes, there's 2 pipes that run along here. That's what I broke off, and I just forgot about that they were there, so I wasn't being all that careful, you know. There's a little bit of door in here. Sure. Oh, my garage sale. Say what, man? Okay, almost at my parents. Oh, okay. Yeah, gobble, gobble. All right. Hey, brother, thanks for stopping in. Like I said, that's why I was doing this. Just so everybody could stop in, say hey to each other. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, you can tell your mom, happy Thanksgiving from all of us. That's nummy. Oops, I might have broke it. That's just a layer line shift. And I did some of the parts in this carbon fiber that I got. But for some reason, they just don't like to give at all. When they give, they break. I don't know, so this is like a camera mount piece. And when I tried putting it on, it broke. It break on these. I tried putting it on this one. And I broke it. It seems smaller than this one. I made a bunch of these. Oops. I made one less now from these. I made 9 of these, but one just went for a ride. Yeah, and this is on just straight blast, Eddie. So yeah, there's no adhesion on these. No. Adhesion help you adhesion. That would break sound almost like it. Oh, yeah, just broke that one. He said that he designed these so they wouldn't do that, but I have no luck with that. Them two are cracked. I don't know how I want to do this. Yar yar. Why not? Why are you not going to have turkey on Turkey Day? Jump in, Tom. Tell us why you have no turkey today. This is another breaking problem, so we're not going to mess with that. I don't feel like breaking everything today. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I hooked up a TV out here hooked up the Roku to it, and so her daughter's just giddy about it. She likes the Roku because there's all kinds of stupid stuff going. Oh, yeah, mother of mercy. Need a big hammer. I did not just break that, now did I? Son of a bummer. I don't know what broke it. It might have broke there. Yeah, it broke right there. Popped it right off. Yeah. Guess, yeah, this is going to be a learning experience. Okay, that stays. Sounding a little bit solid. Chicken. Otherwise, chicken. Now you're just making excuses, Tom. Ooh, yeah, that's. You don't want sewer turkey? don't think sewer turkey would taste good, Tom? Very good. I'm trying to figure out where that broke. I don't think that's it. Darn, this thing's gonna be a nice. Hey, Candy, summer out there. The Thanksgiving parade's probably on.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just take this piece out for now. See, now this piece broke too. Tofu burgers. It's 9:15.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this was the part that wasn't supposed to come off too, so that's alright. That's what they make super glue for. I was trying to do this so I didn't have to do much work, but it looks like there is no end in means on that one, so. But at least it'll be gray underneath it so if it gets scratched after it's done, it will at least look the same color. Oh, there's another piece. God, that turned out like crud there. How do you get that to work out with your supports? You know, like the bottom side of my supports a lot of times look like that. Yeah, that's all right. You don't need audio. But the bottom side of supports for me always look like crap. Not always, but a lot of times. You know, that was the bottom side, and that's the top side of the support. Top side was kind of fine, you know. Bottom side, how the bottom side of the support turned out. Not that.
That was the Boston Terrier versus Raccoon.
I did.
Oh, now that slides right off. This here turned out fine. Yes, this goes somewhere. Looks like that, I think. So this is this. So, yeah, see it stopped just at the right spot to make this all weak.
Okay, I wonder if this is going to work. Or if this is going to just turn my computer into a drag ass.
I don't know, but it's working. Heart. Well, there's supposed to be a gap already, so I don't know. I gotta figure out how the damn thing goes together anyway. Doesn't go together at all, does it? Okay, so it definitely went this way. This goes under this way. Very good, Jerry. So, okay.
How big is this?
So this, so now just like that. Yeah, it would just like that. No, I'm printing. Oh no, this is way at the top, man. This is the very top of the print where it stopped, you know. Print something like this. printing, and so this is like, you know, only that far from the top. If that's what you're asking, I guess that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, because this is right here, whatever. You know, so it's not at the bottom, that's for sure. So was it support touching the bed? Some of it probably. Add more vertical separation layers. Okay, I'll try that. I'm using Cura, so I don't know if you do that or not. Anyways, more broken parts. It's to be expected. Hopefully the other side will come out perfect because I'll know where all the bad parts are. And I'll know how to take the stupid stuff off, maybe. Start putting some parts up there. Sort of. That's a good close. Don't say that's not what I meant. What you doing there, Tom?
I'm going to redo the legs for the trash walker in individual parts. So I'm reverse engineering the leg.
Now, you know, really a lot of this is that's really enhanced because of the big print. I mean, that's way worse than I've ever had. So my supports usually on a regular print, you know, just regular size, you know, little print or whatever, usually just about fall off. But now I am using 3.6, and I don't have my original settings because this is a different computer. So oh yeah, no, it's always run, run, run. You always got to be doing that. It's Thanksgiving, you know. Usually we're out deer hunting, but I don't deer hunt anymore because of my disability. It's too hard for me to get around. All right, but thanks for stopping, Eddie. I should probably have a picture of the damn DeLorean up there so I know what's what, right? That was almost smart. Yeah, and I guess this is my first time trying to do a print this size. I've never printed anything this big, so.
What the?
What is that, a dog? Huh? They're fun. All right, now this is going to be a fun part.
Wrong way. Edit feature.
Is it wrong way? What I do wrong?
No,
Let me
me.
just take this puppy right out of here because it's just this little tiny
Where's the
piece.
dog?
So I think it should need to come out. And I'll just save that for later because it didn't. I don't know, it's taking anything. It's just kind of a floater. Put all these on. Because of where it stops for me, just a beautiful spot. See, now that piece there, I don't know if Eddie's still here. It didn't turn out too bad. Yeah, that's a free balling piece. Let's see what's free balling here. That's another piece. I bet you it is. Yeah, it is. There's a little bit of pep action. Hey, good morning. Hey, Joe. How you doing, my Thanksgiving friend? Yeah, no, that's cool. Thanks for stopping. I just popped the stream out for everybody to stop in and say hey to everybody this morning. It ain't gonna be, a long stream by any means. So yeah, I should do some more cotton than anything instead of ribbon, especially until I see what is going on. I got the other piece out. Another piece. I'm not used to my camera being over here. I'm used to it being over here. I love it. Out of time. Get a lot of this on here because I don't know what's for it, what's not.
Mama, she's talking, but you're gonna do
Support. Some light on the subject. Okay,
Okay, there's a knuckle.
I didn't hear the stream. Oops. Everybody else hear the stream? You should be able to. But I thought you said you're just watching. You couldn't listen. Right?
Why does that come up there? How big is it? It is about.
Oh, you are. Yeah.
It is about.
You can't hear the stream, but then you should be able to.
About half.
And that's bad. So I don't know.
That millimeters.
Figure this stressing out. That's one. I guess we go to Hanson. I'm gonna have to get a meter. That's gonna be just a frickin' zoo. Yeah, I probably won't get a meter. Remember, so I did use my last meter last night.
I'm gonna take her out.
I don't know where Alicia's at.
Okay, I'll take her out.
You don't need no freaky beast for that much.
Yeah.
It's just a mom yell at the dog.
Lacey, come here. You might want your sweatshirt on. It's cold out there.
How are you leaving out there? It ain't that bad. Better than yesterday, anyways.
She's still gonna need her beautiful sweater.
You gotta trust the freaking dog to take it outside. It's just, this is just a little thin piece too. Oh, whatever.
Oh, thank you. Goodbye. Mom's dead.
Most of it. Get this out. All right. Well, clap your hands outside, please.
20. That would be -20.
I guess that just calls for a spill, don't it? Did you look for the grade on there? No, I'll have to do it when she comes in. Your brother.
Okay, what happened?
You know, I can't believe that came out. Also, I guess I lost a little bit right there. It's supposed to be. It's just a little bit too much. So it just looks like it's right here.
So,
But you just don't allow it to run it, so you just got to go in the flow. Buttload of supports here.
it's 11 o'clock. Is it really?
Cut my fingers. There's nice. It got to treat them parts.
Escape.
Having Stoughton sandpaper. Well, good news.
So, and that is 16.
Steve. Yeah, that is good news. So why would you lose ruin pretty good turkey that way? A stiffer one for this, huh? Try to get in.
Why is that on there?
Dirty. I guess I was going to ask about this type of stuff. Is that it's all it's large crap. Guess I should have known about some of these weaker spots. I mean, that's why I did print the small one. You know. So I knew what I was doing. See, for the most part, these prints are so freaking big, but they come off pretty easy, I guess. For how big they freaking are.
Probably an easier way to do this, and I don't know what it is.
really didn't have no plans what we're gonna do today. Let's see what the stream is. Feeling the first freaking away. Bigger the pieces, the better. As long as the girls catch the big pieces, they can come off the big pieces.
Circle 2 point. I should be able to find the center. Go this way. 16 inches. 11, excuse me. That should be the perfect spot. Oof. It looks about right. So, in theory, start from object. That thing.
I gotta turn my Thanksgiving parade on for.
Which one do I gotta go to?
Hey, why don't you look on the Roku, see if you can find it there. Alright. Get over there. I gotta wait for this TV to turn.
That didn't work right. It's pretty cool, though.
Can you turn on?
Yes, I know Google Hangouts is sharing this. Go away.
I was just thinking, what time we gotta leave? Okay. He said 11:30. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm not, David said he's not sure if he's going. He doesn't feel like it or doesn't feel good. But I'll have to check on it.
If you want to take a shower too, and you'll be off.
Can you yell any louder by chance? I bet you couldn't. I mean, you don't have to whisper, but you don't have to be so damn loud. I mean, it's like, Christ.
Know the feeling, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Believe me, I know that feeling. Loud people drive me nuts.
Yep. Well, the problem is my daughter takes after me, you know.
And I can do that on occasion, usually when I'm out drinking.
Yeah.
Rate, cancel. This for here, which is 13. Goes all over the place.
It's up today. 5 more to hit 200. There we go. There it is. Jump up there.
That is exactly.
How's that stupid turkey day? Great. There it is. Macy's 360.
7.75.
Love it.
Wait. 7.5.
Perfect commercial. Alright, so 260 Light Street. This is the Verizon 365 camp parade. And the parade's over. Is the parade over? Well, that was just a commercial.
And then I need to get here.
Bitch out of my butt.
To a escape. Eject. Yeah. Eject.
Dark chocolate.
So we'll just put out.
I'm live right now on the internet.
Okay.
So
I just said dark chocolate peppermint.
Dark chocolate peppermint. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Why won't I select? Yeah. You know what? That'll work too.
Anytime you select the chocolate, yeah, Robert, I just thought because they're nice.
This way.
You got the stuff in that?
And I don't want it both. Object.
Doesn't have here.
I like that in a second. This one I can. Yeah,
How much we got a 13-pound turkey for?
$1 million.
6.
That's not bad.
It was like a $35 turkey, and we went there today, and it was 6.
No, it's turkeys are cheap right now. Turkey's the lowest it's been in like 20 years.
Oh no! Like the sticker on
They
it.
just want them out of there too.
Well, yeah, exactly. They want to
No, it looks like feature.
Yeah, I'll be down in a minute.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm only
It's-
playing on here.
Yeah, that's all we're all doing is playing on here.
Okay, if I do this, edit feature, and tell it to only cut object 2,
What? You have any Sprite then?
object 1.
There we go, Mom.
Hello, that's perfect.
I do, but.
Then I take object 2 and object 1.
Is it pretty?
Oh, okay.
What if I
I'm afraid, so.
and they become one object?
Stream anyways today. So just sit here, drink some coffee.
Yes. Hold it. Oh, because it's not escape. I don't want a modeling shortcut. I just want to rename the body part.
At least it's, where's my purse? That's my purse.
I guarantee if you type that into the Roku, you'll find it.
What?
You just go to YouTube. YouTube has it on.
Walker.
Macy's Parade.
Green.
I could have told you to earlier, but nobody listens. So
New folder.
Oh, hey, I know who that is.
who's that?
Parts.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, that's cool.
Save.
I've been Lady Gaga is freaking famous.
When it goes haywire, I am saved. Do I need to? Kind of like that, a nice sharp joint. Yes, I do.
I wish I could do that.
A little bit.
What?
What Tom's doing? What are you using there, Tom? Is it Fusion?
Yeah, I'm sitting here mumbling to myself. I didn't even think about that. You guys are all listening to me mumble.
That's all right. That way the camera goes to you once in a while. What are you making?
I'm remaking the trash walker legs.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
I'm going to part them out. This is the shoulder starter knuckle. Hopefully I got that angle right. I believe I did. Everything mathed out right.
Get away from me, dog. We're not getting on my desk this morning. I got crap on it.
Except for this is too long, I just noticed.
Well, good, man. Oh, yeah. So you read that one.
Okay.
Feels like it.
Is there cows in there or not?
They have to. I got a good prints going too, though. Oh, we're gone. I should be doing that instead of doing this. Because I want that to print today. I don't know what color I want it. But I'm not going to do that, I'll tell you that.
This is the extrude. This is the
Some of this mess up.
oh, this is not what I want.
Stack it high. Cigarettes too, yes, I'm done doing this. No, them guys don't have that freaking TV on. I don't have to wear these damn things.
Feature.
Freaking TV on. I have to wear my headphones. Oh my god, that's still heavy. It's still heavy. Yeah, this car's gonna weigh like 600 pounds when I'm done.
So, what would this be? First bone. What do we call it? The first bone.
Keep it on the garbage. So,
We'll call this first piston feature.
how close for you, child?
I don't want to edit the feature. I just want to edit the name, you dumbass. First piston.
Oh god.
Feature, I keep doing it. I just want to edit the
That one. Oof.
rename it as cut excess.
I gotta find a little bucket or something for my parts that need to go back on this.
Mine. Over.
I don't want anything right now.
Well, these are all peanuts. These could be gold. Bye-bye. Just because they were all peanuts. I don't like the peanuts that are in these stupid things anyways. Just gotta clean it off.
That line. Why am I got two boards here?
That's for Earl. You know Earl, don't you?
Where's my cut excess? That.
So, ooh, yeah. You gotta love that smell.
Right first. So if I take that and I extrude it and I tell it to go to object, that'll get rid of that little bit. Smooth that out proper like. I must have missed some.
Better not. Just smells.
And there's part one.
500 more pieces to go, right?
Yeah.
See, I wish I could work that fast. So I'd get my robot design done in no time. Oh, and I changed my mind on the tracks.
Well, that's the thing about this is, I think one of the reasons I took on the Fusion 360 so easily is where we have the sub base so close. I'm only like 5 miles away from the sub base in the nuclear and EB electric boat where they build the submarines, the nuclear powered submarines.
Okay.
Every high school around here, like one of the mandatory classes you have to take is drafting.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I took drafting and I took right onto it. So I took drafting all 4 years in high school. Plus, we had a satellite school where you go to I don't know if you know what a satellite school is, but you go to your regular school and you take your English and all that for a half a day. And then you take the other half of the day and you go to a tech school where you learn one single thing for 3 hours. You basically take English, math, social sciences, or whatever at your regular school for half a day, and then you go to your tech school for half a day.
Okay.
So I did that, and I went to the tech school for drafting also. So this is very much like drawing on paper with the sketches. The sketches are just like drawing on paper is, except for way faster.
Yeah. A lot easier to be precise.
Well, actually, paper's easier to be precise, to be honest with you.
Think so?
Because, well, you don't actually have to be precise with paper and pencil.
Oh, yeah.
As long as you mark it precisely, you don't actually have to be as precise. Some of the glitchy crap of computers that, you know, make it like locking things down. And, you know, if you ever watch all the videos, like Angus and all those guys are always constantly talking about making sure everything's locked down and all your parameters are set, which I just don't do because I find that more annoying. But they're absolutely right that I've gone back to edit something. I didn't have all my parameters locked down. I edit something way back in the timeline, come forward again, and the whole thing just blows apart.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Leave my table up here.
But that right there is too long. I know it is. So I have to remake that part. This needs to be that piece. It needs to be 8 millimeters, and that's way over 8 millimeters. What is that right now? That is back one, so I can get rid of the round.
Yeah, I was going to try to have Ricky teach me Blender, you know.
Teach you what?
I was going to have Ricky work with me on Blender.
Oh.
But I started doing it by myself, you know.
Yep.
And it's just like, you know, I was watching tutorials and crap, you know, from Ricky and everybody else in the world. You really can't measure in it, you know. So I don't know how the hell Ricky models, you know.
I can't handle I love shortcuts. I use them all the time, but I don't like having to learn them to learn the program. Yeah. I like to learn the program and then learn the shortcuts once I've learned the program. Yeah. Where Blender wants you to learn all those shortcuts. Not only that, it's all about the middle mouse button. The whole thing is about the middle mouse button. For one, I'm left-handed. For two, half of my fingers have been broken, severed off, cut, rebuilt, sewed back on. They don't work so well. Yeah. So to have to do these whole keyboard combination, all that, it's just obnoxious.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like rotating this thing. I mean, you see I can instantly rotate.
Yeah.
I found that obnoxious till I reprogrammed. I've got a Kensington Turbo mouse.
Yeah.
Which is a trackball with multiple buttons. I program my buttons for that.
Morning,
so I hit 2 buttons at the same time, and now I can rotate.
Yeah. Morning, Jake.
Good morning.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
That's why I hopped on. Wanted to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving, except Don.
Yeah, I don't know where he is. I thought he was going to.
Yeah, you're talking about Blender. My big problem with Blender is it tries to be too many things for too many people. I can't imagine doing what Ricky does in Blender. I mean, to me, Blender is for character animation.
No,
for set building.
I can use it for mechanical. My problem is I can't use it. I can see how to use it as it, but like I was saying, my problem is I like to learn the program and then learn my shortcuts for that program. Once I figured out how to work in the program.
Yeah, Blender is, like you said, it's all shortcuts.
It's all shortcuts, and you have to learn them all. And it's just, I get nothing done because every time I go to do something, I have to look at the little shortcut list or research or figure it out. And by the time I figured out how to do it, I've forgotten what the hell I was trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's just too obnoxious doing that. I wish they'd go and make a simplified interface that has buttons. Because if you see, you know, if you're watching me, I don't know how much of it actually shows on the screen, but I still go up here, even though I know most of these shortcuts, I still go up here and click. Why? Because I can. And you know what's faster than a shortcut? A button you can actually find is faster than a shortcut. You can't figure out what it is.
Yeah.
You know, shortcuts are great, and I do use them, and I do like them. I don't want to have to use them. I don't want to have to remember them all. I know too many different programs, and they all have different shortcuts. And it gets too confusing to try and remember them all the time. And that's my biggest problem with Blender is I'm a point and clicker. I'm not a shortcutter all the time.
I think it'll be interesting to start messing around with something like Google Blocks, which is Google's VR sort of Tinkercad-ish solution.
Well, there's actually a pretty good program, and I got to keep going back to it, and I got to try it. It's actually part of it's associated with what's the other not thingy-verse one there in England?
There's Yegi, that's a search engine, and then there's My Mini Factory.
My Mini Factory, yes. They've associated with a program. It's not really theirs. Somebody started making it. Hey, stealing, dude.
Thank you. Well, I'm putting on my socks. Would you like to look at my shoes instead?
No,
you got choices. I'm all about choices, man.
Nice smoke detector. I see that. Good, you got your smoke detector. Anyway, I think it's called Victory or Victoria or something like that. Victory, I think it is.
Vectory.
That's it. And it actually looks really good. The other one, if you guys want to learn, that's not really difficult, and if you're on a PC, works splendidly. I used to use it literally back in like the 90s, early 2000s. Is what the hell's the name of it? Hexagon.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's old. It's one of the most powerful, awesomest apps for 3D. It's fairly easy to use. It's kind of a mixture between like Tinkercad and like Vectory and or Blender.
Huh.
But it's a polyassemble. It's a hexagon assembly system. But oh my god, it's wicked easy to just produce stuff. It's easier than Fusion 360, but I don't know. It's one of those you got to go try. It's like a step between Tinkercad and Fusion 360, if that makes sense. It's not really either because it's completely different assembly system, modeling system. I can never remember the names of all. There's like 3 basic modeling systems. It models like Blender in the sense of how it actually builds the model on your screen and turns it into a structural item.
Right.
But it's just, and it's free. You can get it from Des 3D. What's up?
Yeah, Des 3D has lots of good stuff.
Yeah, well, Des 3 bought up a lot of good stuff and turned them into crap.
Really? Oh, okay.
Terrible. They update nothing. They don't work with the community well. They want you to just go buy their junk.
Well, buy their junk then.
No.
Yeah, well, yeah. So for those who haven't looked at Des 3D, their model is basically give away the software for free and then get you to buy resources in their store. You know, virtual sets or engineered models or whatever out of their store and incorporate them into. I guess their primary business is they try to get people to do like low end animation, right? Is that their primary thing?
Capital E.
Is it home or the direct?
No, it's right. It's home.
Okay. That's
Lowercase. Capital E, little e, 0, 1, 0, or 1, 0, 1, 0, little e,
capital
little e.
E.
Someone write down the password.
Huh?
1, 0, 1, 0, little e, little e. It's not like anybody's going to hack my Wi-Fi. I'm half a mile up in the
Incorrect
woods.
password.
Huh?
It says incorrect password.
Let me see that.
Well, you never know.
I can make it bigger, like for old people, if you need me to.
I kind of need it to.
So I was trying to print out the components of the trash walker.
Well, that's what I'm
yesterday.
actually doing is redesigning the trash walker. If you see this, I don't know if you look at it, you can see.
Yeah, you showed me you showed us the pictures the other day of the components you were trying to break it into.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually make it into. I'm gonna simplify it first, and then I think I'm gonna make it so you can actually make it move. Because I
That'll be
think
cool.
the way he has it structured right now, I'm not positive because I'm no mechanical engineer.
It does look mechanically sound.
Yeah, it looks like if you make all of these pistons movable instead of solid locked, I think you can actually make it walk.
Password. I'm in. Jake says.
What's that? I'm not even watching the chat. So.
Yeah. Jake says, Llama's password. I'm in.
not going to get in with my password because you'd have to drive up my driveway to get anywhere near close enough to my Wi-Fi. And I'm half a mile off the road, so.
Yeah, his place is scarier to get to than John Mack's with all his thousands of cameras.
The funny thing is I'm actually in a pretty highly populated area in general. I'm just in the middle of, I'm basically between two beaches. And it's kind of swampy here. So there's only certain areas you can plop a house without, getting into the water rates and all the humane all that crap you can't build.
Yeah.
There's a group of putzes that stop people from building in the swamp, which is a good thing. I mean, we need our swamps. But
I think my mother is a member of that group of putzes, in fact.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because my house literally right here, like 15 years ago, they put a house right here. And there's absolutely no way that house went in and paid or properly, appeared to all the wildlife waterfront things. They literally had to cut their driveway through the swamp to do it. The whole road goes through the swamp. They had to fill the swamp to put that house in. So that's one of those, who had more money.
Jake says I'm in the driveway.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So
I know.
Having attempted to print each individual piece, I divided it into 2 plates with 2 colors. I tried to print each individual piece. The only pieces I was able to print are the feet.
Yeah, the feet are easy.
Right. Well, everything else failed in all sorts of weird ways, in ways that I would not have expected them to fail.
The legs are miserably hard to print.
The only problem was I had problems with the heels sticking to the plate.
I didn't have
so small.
Problem with it sticking. It was so much support material.
Oh, I'm going to try and print it without supports.
Okay,
I'm just going to turn down the print temperature. The author swears that it works.
Yeah. Oh, it does work. I'll print it without supports. I don't know how. The upper knuckle would just fall over unless you can.
It's not. Well, it's not pointed down. It's not pointed. It's not angled down. It's just sort of long.
But it's almost straight out.
Like maybe I need to look at the design again, but I don't know.
How do I get back to my camera? Oh, there we go. That is just too sharp of an angle right here.
Really?
Yeah, that's not going to.
That's what, like that's like a 50-degree angle, maybe.
What's in that box, Mike?
Oh God, it's more than that.
No, it isn't.
Oh yeah, it is. It's got to be 75 degrees.
Hey, Minnesota maker, happy Thanksgiving. I printed mine without support.
Here's your line. That's easily almost 90 degrees. You can see that.
No, it isn't. It's not even remotely 90 degrees.
No, but if I go 90 degrees off of this plane, here's your up and down. Here's your Z line. Okay. That's way past your 45 or 50 degrees that your printer can print without sagging. This is
the line that your finger is drawing is 90 degrees, but that's not the line that.
No, but this is like 75, which is going to
sag now.
I mean,
I don't know. All right. So who was it? I don't see the chat because I'm on a mobile device here. Who was it in chat who said they printed theirs without supports?
Minnesota maker.
Okay.
Because this looks way too steep too, right here. I mean, I had all kinds of bubbly problems.
Maybe you just have an inferior printer, sir.
I do have an inferior. There's no question about it. That thing's, the more I play with that thing, the worse it gets. I'm about ready to rip it all apart.
You're gonna fix it until it breaks, huh?
Jake says your printer just sucks.
It does suck. I'm about ready to take the ING board off of it. The more I think about it, it's gotten worse and worse and worse since I went to both of them. Since I went to the TMC drivers, they're quieter. I do not think they print as well. I really don't.
Huh.
I think I get more issues because of the TMCs than I did when it was loud and obnoxious.
Huh.
I mean, it's quieter. Don't get me wrong. It's a boatload quieter. I couldn't even talk to you right now if that thing was running right next to me because it would just be like, I'd be like, holy crap.
Well,
But I think the quality of my prints have gone downhill since I went TMCs. Now, it could just be me because I am no electronics software-y kind of super geek. I can usually figure it out, but I'm far from. So it could just be settings that I have wrong. Yeah, I mean, look at the Prusa. Basically, that's a Prusa MK3 when you get right down to it.
it sounds like it.
It pretty much is. The only thing I don't have on there that Prusa has is, the upper end, more new fancy. I don't have auto bed leveling, and I don't have the filament sensor. That's about it. Everything else, it's a Prusa. And I don't have the by-Teknetek extruder on there. I have a regular MK8 extruder. But that shouldn't make any difference. The stuff I used to print with that thing is just amazing.
The Mark 8 extruder does suck.
Yeah.
And you can buy by-Teknetek gears for $10 on AliExpress now.
Yeah, I can't buy anything on AliExpress.
Anything?
No, my bank won't let me.
Really?
The only way I can order through China is through PayPal. My bank won't let me order anything in a foreign country anymore.
Wow.
Well, it's a small little local bank.
Yeah.
I'm kind of behind it too. But I mean, look at this thing. This was printed on that Max Micron when it was dead ass stock. Now, not only is that really clean and nice,
that is nice.
It's TPU.
Wow. Speaking of which, I need to print a couple of your flippy
rolling
sticky things.
I mean, this thing used to print dead on accurate. It was always perfect.
I don't
snap together perfectly. Now it's all like crappy. I never really got any Z-seaming of any highly noticeable. Now I get all this kind of crap. I don't know if you can see that. Focus on that.
Yeah, I remember that, Robbie, when you were talking.
Look at all that right there. It's disgusting.
That's not great.
Never used to have that problem.
Huh.
I'm actually going to start. The next thing I'm going to do, and I'm probably going to do it this weekend, I'm going to try going way back to like Cura, the old 15 point whatever. A really, really old one. Yeah. That's what this was done with.
Yeah, I know.
Done with that machine completely stock. Well, basically stock. I'd done a couple little minor upgrades, but nothing.
It'd be nice if you could go back to that and still use some new plugins on it.
Yeah. But I don't really use any of the plugins, so I don't care with the Cura.
Yeah.
I still port it through the Pi, so any of the plugin-y kind of stuff I have is on the Pi. But I'm actually going to do that. I think I'm going to do that this weekend after tonight when everyone's gone. And start backstepping thing and find out when it went downhill.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing is not printing terribly. This belt came out really good. It's printing better. The leg I printed on that is better than the one I printed on the Core XY.
Hey, Tom. Robbie says you're not using E3D 4.1. Are you, Tom?
E3D what?
E3D.
You mean S3D?
For
I have S3D 4.1. I'm not a big fan of S3D. Every time I play with it, it actually works better on the Core XY. I gotta say that it's a better setup for the Core XY. I use it because the modern Curas, because my Mac's so old, don't draw on the screen very well. They lag really, really badly.
They're big.
So like I enter something into Cura and I have to sit there and twiddle my thumbs and wait for it to draw on the screen. It's ridiculously slow. So I've actually been going back to using this 3D because I can't update my computer anymore. It's too old. So I got to get a new Mac, which I'm not going to do because they're just ridiculously over expensive.
And
How old is the one you've got?
2009.
Yeah, mine's 2012. I had a 2008 for a while that got a little sluggish, but I'm still on the 2012, and I'm definitely not buying a new one. The hardware quality has gone down so significantly.
And they're a Mac.
Yeah. No, I mean, relative to previous Mac hardware.
Being what you do and being somewhat software geekish, which you kind of are, right?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. I would heavily look into making a Hackintosh.
I looked into that some years ago, and I did it in a virtual machine just to see how it worked, and it works reasonably well. I've not followed up on recent releases because they end up having to basically redo their entire project for every new OS release. So I'm not sure whether they support the Mojave release yet.
The Mojave release actually supports Hackintosh.
Really?
Really?
Cool.
I was just watching a thing about like that. This guy that does if you go on YouTube, there's a guy that's like really big into Hackintosh. Like if you type in Hackintosh, his videos will come up. Like 8 of the 10 that come up will be his. He had his mother build one. Like he was blindfolded.
Huh.
And he
the issue is primarily that you need, back when I was looking at it originally, I had to do it in a VM because you couldn't get a FTDI, not FTDI. Not BIOS, but there's the other structural.
I don't know. See, that's my
setup. So anyway, so the Hackintosh requirement was the requirement to implement Hackintosh. The Hackintosh variant is that the hardware you have doesn't support the old style BIOS, but the new style, whatever the hardware bootloader solution is that Macs use. I can't remember the name of it now. Not FTDI. FTDI is for fiber optic stuff. This is something else. Anyway,
half the setup. I mean, you gotta go through all that.
The point being, back then there was not a whole lot of hardware that supported this. Now, virtually any laptop you buy will support it. So things have gotten a lot easier in that sense. So yeah, I will almost certainly do that. Actually.
Well, this guy built one. You gotta watch it. Look for Mom Built a Hackintosh. I think that's actually the name of it because he literally had his mother build it while he was blindfolded. He was blindfolded describing. Now this is not a cheap one he bought, and everything is 100% compatible with the Macs, right down to the motherboard and the processor.
Oh yeah, you still have to spend for top-notch hardware, but you're going to get more bang for your buck.
I think he said it was $1,200.
Yeah, that's nothing in the world of Macs. I mean, I spent like $5,000 on mine.
I bought minis because they were $400 or $500.
Yeah,
I'm not spending $700 to have them. Basically worse than what I have now. $700, even the brand new one. Yeah, it's some upgrades, but it's a slow processor.
The keyboard is vastly worse. The screens haven't kept up with modern.
Yeah, well. The graphics cards are still terrible. I mean, I knew the graphics card in this thing was terrible because there is no graphics card. It uses the main processor, which is the biggest problem with it.
Oh, that doesn't have discrete graphics? Oh, yeah, the one I had.
No, it's a Mac Mini.
Oh, okay. I thought you had like a MacBook Pro. No, they all have discrete graphics.
It. Right there. The little itty-bitty nothing.
Yep, I got one of those.
I love it. I mean, I wish... If they'd have made what they have now and not had the biggest thing is now they're using SODIMMs again, but to get to them is like a 4-hour process of ripping that thing apart to get to them, and you void your warranty.
Like,
This one, I can replace anything and not void the warranty. I can replace the hard drives. I can replace
I'm trying, Rob, so I don't know.
the memory. I can upgrade everything, and it never screwed with my warranty. Everything was used or accessible.
You ain't getting more than.
They went to SODIMMs, but they buried them so deep in the case that you can't use it. You can't get to them. And the hard drive is, you know, SSDs, which is great, but they solder it on the board, and their cost for a decent one. I mean, it starts with 128. I'm sorry. Having a Mac OS computer that only has 128 hard drive,
No.
I mean, the
That's
OS
kind of ridiculous. Yeah.
half of that just to load it onto your hard drive.
Is it safe to build? I'm sorry. You're right. I'm in the process of reslicing parts for the trash walker. Is it reasonable to print both legs at the same time?
That depends on your time frame. I didn't, because it literally doubled it, so it was easier for me to print. It was 5 hours to print them each individually, and it was over 10 to print them together.
Okay, so I'll just do them separately. Okay.
I would slice them both and see which one you'd rather do.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't like the stringing. I get too much string. On my retraction set. I was trying to do it on the core. That's why.
Trash can. This is left leg. 10%. What do we want? 2 shells, I guess.
I would go 3. I always
Really?
do. Yeah. I did 15% infill with 3 shells, 3 bottom, 3 top.
Oh, I'm doing 10% infill. I'm not.
That's probably fine.
We'll see.
It's a little infill. Everything's so thin that
Hit that thumbs up, everybody.
What was that?
Did you listening to me?
No, we missed what you were saying because we were talking.
Well, no, I've been talking ever since you guys started talking. Just you guys don't hear it.
We hear it.
I'm talking to the chat. Chat and talk.
Half the time we don't know if you're talking to us, to the freaking people in the chat, or to your wife and
I
kids.
can't try to talk to you two. Get you two in the same room talking, and there's nobody else going to be able to talk.
I'm 99% sure this is a Connecticut thing. I really am. It's like a New England behavior.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's all right. I'm just messing with you guys, but I think it's funny. You know? For about a half hour, I've been trying to tell Tom that Robbie's still talking to him.
Yeah,
oh, shit. Sorry.
It's all right, man. Have at her, guys. Have fun. It's Thanksgiving. No worries.
Well, it's just funny because, we get kind of like, I've noticed when we were at Earth, we're very similar mentality. Once we get into something, we get very excited about it. We wanna, we get BSing, and it's like all we get single-minded.
Yeah, no, it's fine, man. I mean, I got stuff to do anyways, so I'm going to sit here and roll cigarettes. You guys kill each other with chat. I don't care. I just was talking to the actual chat.
Filled with kindness.
Well, it load. Because my computer's old and tired. Yeah, you should look into that Hackintosh, though, because I think you...
Yeah, like I said, I tried it, and I just sort of set it aside. You're right. I really should, because I'm definitely not buying another piece of Apple hardware. Except maybe an iPad. I think I'm going to wait one more generation. I'm going to get another iPad.
Yeah, I just bought the non-pro version, and I was surprised at how much the price went, believe it or not, down.
Well, yeah, because they're trying to, they're trying to serve all market segments now. Does the non-pro still not support the pencil?
Yes, no pencil.
Yeah,
but this is $325.
Can't go wrong with that.
Now, whenever I buy anything like these from Apple, I always buy their refurbed.
Really?
Yep. And here's the deal with Apple refurb. One, Apple is a company that never, ever wants to see it again. If something goes wrong with something, they figure out what went wrong with it. They fix the damn thing. They're not like some of these companies that, say it's refurbed and they just fix whatever broke and put it back out, still broken. You know what I mean? So if something breaks easily, they discover that it breaks easily and they fix it. They won't want it to break again.
That's not necessarily true. I mean,
I've never gotten an Apple. Almost everything I have Apple is refurb now.
If you get bored one day, watch Louis Rossmann on YouTube. He has some interesting things to say about the way Apple does their repairs. But
their repairs are their refurb. Their repairs are different than their refurbs.
Well, these are the repairs, right? Yeah. But you're right, and I would certainly buy anything solid state that's been refurbed. I would buy that. I'm not sure I would buy something with moving parts that's been refurbed. The iPad, sure. Probably the newer laptop, sure. But I wouldn't buy a laptop with an old hard drive, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's just it. Apple usually replaces any of the mechanicals in their refurbs.
Right.
But
in that sense, it's certainly a worthwhile way to go. I haven't done that so far because I always, up until this point, I've always felt like I should, stick with the cutting edge stuff.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Apple refurb. They don't discount them a lot. They discount them almost exactly what their extended warranty is.
Yeah.
So you could buy it new and get 1 year, which is good. Or you can buy it refurbed and get 3 years.
I don't buy Apple either. You can't do nothing to them.
Well, that's the problem.
It is kind of frustrating.
It's gotten worse.
Memory to it, you get an Apple phone and you got 8 gigs of memory. That's all you're ever going to have.
Yep, exactly, and I'm going to agree with you on that. I love the OS. Their OS is 100 times better.
If you want to get a new video card to improve your experience, you can't do that.
Nope, I agree, and I'm about ready to bail on them.
All right, so. I can take my old stuff and just upgrade it myself for a couple $100 and not spend thousands of dollars on a new item.
I agree with you. You used to be able to. I mean, my mini sitting here, I can replace the hard drives. I can replace the memory. I can replace the CD drive. Everything in it, I was able to replace. They made it so you could. Now they're doing just the opposite. They don't want you to touch it.
Right. Well, they used to sell a full tower machine. A Mac Pro used to be a standard tower enclosure.
I had one. I actually replaced my Mac Pro with this mini because the mini was faster and easier to modify back then.
Oh.
Well, the problem with the minis is they contain laptop hardware, not desktop hardware.
Correct.
Yeah. So, I think the new mini supposedly has desktop hardware, but I haven't seen one or touched one, so I don't know for sure.
Even a laptop you can upgrade somewhat, not a lot, but you can add RAM and you can.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to be able to yank out a battery, replace a hard drive, swap out the memory.
Your basic everyday, you're what I call semi-disposables or semi.
I mean, in a Dell, you can easily just pop out the screen and throw in a new one. Oh well.
Again, Apple lost that usability, and they're pushing for the, basically they're overpricing a machine. That the reason I used to buy them is I got 10 years out of them because I could upgrade the memory, because I could upgrade the hard drive.
Oh yeah,
that new Mac Mini, and it was cheap. I mean, $499 for my Mac Mini back even then was cheap. But $750 or $799 for something that is not really upgradable. Yeah, they put SODIMMs in them, but you can't do it. They're charging you a ridiculous upgrade for their hard drives and their SODIMMs. And they want to do it. They won't let you do it. If you change your memory in the new Mac Mini, you void your warranty. And crap like that, it's just like stupid. All right. Yes, you have a great machine. You have the best operating system out there for the general public.
Yeah, but you can buy something like that for how many thousands of dollars? Give me that money, and I will build you a computer that would just blow your mind compared to that piece of crap Apple.
Correct. But the one limiting part, you still have to run Windows.
Yeah, no, you don't. There's choices out there to run Linux. There's all different choices. You don't run Windows.
Yeah, I mean,
learning Blender. It's obnoxious.
Oh, Blender is absolutely Linux compatible. Absolutely.
No, I'm saying Linux is like learning Blender. It's just
Oh,
I'm not going to
yeah.
do it. I don't want to learn French.
No, there are enough good window, desktop environments for Linux at this point that you could learn it quite quickly. I was running Linux on PC laptops for since what 2003 to 2008 before I bought a Mac for a Mac laptop.
Yeah, my brother ran.
It works. It's quite reliable. I mean, I made a business. I made my living on those things for that period of time. I hadn't owned I haven't owned a Windows PC since. Let's see, I haven't purchased a Windows PC for my personal use since Windows NT 3.1.
Only Apple I've ever owned, I picked up out of a garbage can and sold at a garage sale for $5.
I prefer the OS, not necessarily the hardware or the equipment. I just like Mac OS. It is. I would rather work with my computer than on it. Windows, I have a Windows machine. I know how to use them. I use them every day at work. I have a Mac right next to it. The Windows machine is a 4-core, 4.2, maxed out hard drive, maxed out memory. It's like 64 gig. I have an old, like 2012, I think, iMac next to it. And I don't care what anyone says. I use them both. I can use them both efficiently. I get more work done on that Mac because I don't have to screw with it. I go on it, I use it, I get off. The freaking Windows PC, I'm constantly having to run virus protection, or this isn't working, or that doesn't work, or please check
run
that.
Virus protection on because everybody uses them. Nobody uses them.
Apple crap. It just doesn't. The Mac starts up faster, a lot faster, and it's a dual core, like 1.8 or something like that iMac, and it starts faster. It runs faster. It runs cleaner. It's just simpler to use. Granted, some of it is because I prefer the OS and I know how to get around it, but Windows is constantly harassing you to do stupid crap you shouldn't have to do.
Yeah.
It's the most backwards OS I've ever used. I'd like to go back to the old Commodores. They were.
You mean the Amiga or the Commodore 64?
Commodore 64s, man.
I remember them.
I miss Amigas though. Amigas were awesome.
Yeah.
So did anyone else see this thing where E3D posted some sort of video, but it looks like
He took it down again?
I don't know, maybe it's showing some other kind of error that's not that the video was removed, but it's inaccessible or something.
Well, that's because he removed it.
Well, normally it says this video has been removed by the user.
This video is unavailable. Sorry about it, man.
So in my case, it just shows a circle with an exclamation mark in it. It isn't even loading the rest of the page. So I don't know.
Well, mine goes to it, but it says this video is unavailable, and then little letters it says sorry about that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm guessing that's some sort of error, not a user has removed it.
Yeah,
I guess we'll find out in a few hours what E3D did, and is releasing or whatever. But I don't know. All right, so this thing is all sliced. I guess I can go try and print more Trash Walker.
Yeah. If you want to run command lines, go to Linux for programs. Windows is fine. There's more programs available for Windows and any OS. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but not more useful programs. I mean, what do you really need? You need an Office suite. You need email and a web browser. What else do people use? Design software. It's all available for Linux. Virtually everything that Autodesk does is available for Linux, including Fusion 360. Every graphics package worth a damn is available for Linux.
Yep. Pretty much every app I've ever used on Windows has been a crash site, nasty.
Every serious productivity app is available for Linux.
But even for the Mac versus Windows, Linux is another whole. You got to be a semi-geek to run Linux. I'm sorry. The average everyday user is not going to run Linux.
So I went from Linux to Mac OS primarily because Mac OS is basically Linux underneath. Yeah. Well, it's actually NetBSD underneath.
Yeah.
See, but Windows is also computers for dummies, you know.
Well, it's computers for the masses. I guess you're assuming that the mass are dummies, but
Windows is still based on DOS, plain and simple. It still runs DOS. DOS 3.1. Windows 10 is just a front end for DOS 3.1. It's still DOS 3.1. It's like Windows 98.
They swore up and down Windows 95 was going to be the last release that included a command line. They still haven't managed to get away from it.
No, you're right. Yeah. But who cares? Why does that matter?
Oh my God, look at all that.
It matters only because that's what I was leading to was that while Microsoft is trying to dumb things down for people, Apple has smartened things up. They introduced the command line in Mac OS 10.
Yeah.
My only shelf only paid 1 year.
Mac OS is far superior to Windows OS.
I mean, we're on the same page there. If I can find a good, solid piece of hardware that'll run Mac OS reliably, I'll do that.
Yeah, I wish Mac would just dump the hardware and just OS like Windows.
Well, there was a point when they were doing that. Remember, back in the day, in the days of like Mac OS 7 and 8. They were licensing the thing out, but it wasn't any good because it was Mac OS 8.
Well, no, because I actually had one. I had two of them.
You had one of the Power PCs?
Yep, I had a Power PC and I had a BenQ. I had both of them. The Power PC, you realize Mac is Power PC?
It was.
No, Mac is. Mac bought out Power PC.
It was a partial owner with Intel.
No.
Yeah.
Mac bought out the Power PC manufacturing because they were completely smoking the Apple quality and price. They were
they bought it out in its entirety. I hadn't really paid enough attention at the end of it.
Power PC hardware,
and Apple does not have that crap, I guess.
That's when Steve Jobs went back and it became OS 10. He bought out Power PC and just closed all the licensing down. Because there was 3 licenses that were 3 major companies licensing. Power PC, which was freaking awesome. UMax, which used to make all the printers and the scanners and stuff. They were a really big scanner company back then.
I didn't realize they were a Power PC licensee, though.
Who?
UMax.
They weren't a Power PC licensor.
Isn't that what you just said?
No, Power PC, UMax licensed Mac OS.
Yeah.
When Mac opened up their license after they fired Steve Jobs and he went off and made Next.
Right. Yeah.
Apple opened their licensing up for secondary hardware.
Right.
For those 3 years they allowed it, there was only 3 companies that really did it.
Right. I'm saying that I had never seen a UMax branded Mac.
I had one. I had all 3. Cool. I had a UMac, UMac. I had a Power PC, and there was another oddball one. I can't even remember the name of it. And they were all towers. They looked like regular everyday Windows PCs, and they were wicked nice. And a Power PC just smoked them all. Power PC, the brand name Power PC, their motherboards were just incredibly fast for the time. They just smoked everything. They used better memory. They were half the price. They were just the king. My Power PC smoked them all. Like ridiculously. It was like twice as fast as the Apple or the UMax. In fact, I'm trying to think. I might still have the UMax up in the attic.
Show us about to begin.
Yeah,
That was the other thing is the Power PC and the UMax would run Windows too.
Yeah.
It's over.
Or either or on them. That was the beginning of what the hell is that one that switches back and forth? I can't remember.
Okay, let us print our.
I can watch it later, right?
Yeah.
Ring here. It should be the last black part.
50.
Watch it anytime now.
My cat's off.
You just hooked up that Roku or Roku stream stick or whatever.
I'm running freaking Fusion right now, trolling for dollars on my old antique Mac, and it runs just fine. I have absolutely no problems with Fusion.
I wish I could afford an i7 processor, man. I could be a don. If anybody's got one, my address is down below. You can send it.
Don't run again. I run Apple because I don't want to work on my computer trolling for dollars. I want to work with my computer. There's a difference. PCs, you're constantly working on them. I love those people like you, and it's great. I'm glad that you like Windows and you like building your own Mac, your computers, running Linux. That's great. Some people like to do that. I want to work. I want to do work with my computer. I don't want to have to go on my computer and then change the motherboard or change this or change that or change settings or.
You don't have
every time you turn the damn thing on, you gotta play with it. I just want to turn it on, do my work, and turn it off. Once a year, I gut this Mac. I wipe the hard drive. I back everything up. I wipe the hard drive and I reinstall from fresh. Only because I used to beta test for Apple, so I was always installing crap. But I don't have to play with my Macs. I don't have to touch them. I don't have to build them. I don't have to play with them. But now they've
buy a $10,000 printer then, so you don't have to work on it or mess with it or upgrade it or do it.
That's different. I like playing with the printers. I don't like playing with the Mac, with the computers.
I wouldn't like playing with a Mac or Apple either.
Well, you don't need to. That's the point.
That's the point. There's nothing you need to do on an Apple. You
buy a 3D printer because it's a hobby. You buy a computer because it's a tool.
Correct. Exactly. I want to work with my tool, not on my tool. I don't want to constantly have to repair it. That's like me buying a drill for work, and every 5 minutes I have to buy a new battery or change a clutch or, replace the trigger. I don't want to do that. I want it to work. I want to pick it up and drill or drive a screw or do whatever with it and never have to worry about it. When I worry about it, when something goes wrong with it, I throw it out. The problem is like everyone's saying, Apple's hardware has gone to the point of being innovating to so far behind Windows, it's ridiculous. I mean, their hardware is, they're using i3s for their main processors. I mean, come on. My dual core is faster than an i3.
So
Just gets a little bit long.
My 10-year-old Mac is faster than a new Mac. Think of that.
It's really sad.
I shouldn't say
this is part of their thing. They figured no one's going to open up the machine, so no one's going to really look at it. And then of course iFixit got a hold of the hardware, and that was the end of that theory.
Yeah. Trolling for dollars. But the thing is you're a guy who likes playing with it, and that's great. I got no problems with that. My brother works for Red Hat. He loves tearing apart computers and building, these big rad stations and servers and all that. That's all great. But for someone like me, a Windows machine, and it's not the hardware. I never have hardware problems on Windows. It's always Windows. I'm always having issues with Windows. And it's always crashing or breaking down or something doesn't work.
Yeah, well, at this point, we should probably, give Microsoft some credit here. They do build an operating system that supports thousands of variants of hardware, whereas Apple builds an operating system that supports 5 variants of hardware.
But that's the good thing about the Apple.
Right. Well, that's the better way to do it.
A drawing program or a CAD program for a Mac, it has to actually work before Apple will let you put it on there, before they'll allow their licensing. Now, some people say that's restricting, and it is. For someone like maybe you who likes to program, or Trolling for Dollars who likes to, play with the hardware, that is restricting. For someone like me, I buy it, I might pay a few bucks more, but I know it'll work. End of story. If it doesn't work, I get my money back. End of story. With Windows, there's 30 programs, and you buy them. Granted, they might be half the price, but I got to buy 5 of them to figure out which one actually works. And even then, they might not work. Yeah, you mess with it more than you think you do. You just know it, so you automatically do it. Just like I got a friend, my neighbor over here. He's big into playing these video games, and he has the high-end video game.
Instantly, I threw him that. I took one out and threw him that.
He's like, "Oh, I never play with it." And I go, "Yeah." And he turns it on. The first thing he does is he spends 5 minutes setting everything up on his computer. Whether he wants to do this or do that or do this or do that.
People have gotten so used to it that they don't even think about it. I mean, I guarantee you, anyone doing anything on a Mac is including playing video games, running Steam or something, a Steam-based video game, is going to do it faster and is going to be into what they're trying to do faster on a Mac than they are on a PC.
Yep.
To begin the work, the actual work, or whatever they're doing.
Yeah. It's not going to run faster. Once you get everything set up and you're set and running, the PC will definitely run faster because the hardware's newer.
Yeah, and it's going to have better graphics and so on. But actually getting started, getting to the point where you can begin your work, Macs will smoke you every time.
Every time. They start up faster. Plain and simple. Mac OS just starts up faster. And I love how Windows starts up and they brought up all your icons and you can't do anything. And it looks like the computer's up and running, but it's not. I just love that one. I'll start up my Mac at work, which is, I'm pretty sure it's a 1.4 dual, whatever they used to call the Intel chip when they first became Intel. And my quad-core i7, which is faster in every way, and the Mac will start up, and I'll be working on it literally minutes before the Windows is fully up and running every single time. And I start them up at the exact same time.
Yep.
Need a SCADA drive.
And the Windows machine actually has an SSD on it too. And the Mac has a 5400 floppy disk, whatever you call it, hard drive. 5300, 5200. What the hell's this speed on it? Cheapo drives.
5400. Yeah, would be the low speed. And 7200 would be the higher speed.
It's up and fully running, and I can actually use it way faster than the PC. Way faster. Basically, when I start up the PC, I go and get a coffee and come back, and it might be ready when I'm done. It might be ready.
That was my pattern at work. When I had an office, had my little cubicle job, I would show up, I would plug in my laptop. Which, I mean, I had a laptop, so I'd work from home and work from work. I'd plug into the laptop into the docking station, and I would turn it on and go get a cup of coffee.
Yep.
Literally. I mean, every day.
I've never seen that brand.
Which? What?
Garage door opener. What's your garage door opener brand? Put your garage door opener.
Stanley.
That is a Stanley? It didn't look like a Stanley.
This is what happens when you let a contractor look at your house in any meaningful way.
Well, I guess it is a Stanley. That's an older Stanley.
It's an ancient Stanley from like 1982, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen one of those.
Now, at some point, I gotta update everything. Go get an August lock and a snazzy smart home-ish garage door opener and all this good shit.
Why? The one thing about garage door openers, if it works, don't bother replacing it.
What?
As long as it works, don't replace it.
No, the only thing I've had to do here was one cable die on me in the time that I've lived here, which is now almost 15 years.
The spring or the cable?
The cable died. The spring was fine.
What cable? No cable.
Yeah, there's the spring, and then there's the cable that there's cabling there. How does it? Let me look at how this is done here. Yeah, it's the cabling that runs along the back here.
Inside the
Yeah.
spring to keep the spring breaks. It keeps the spring from skewering you.
Yeah, it's this
I know,
cabling here. This cabling.
I can't see it. It keeps flashing out.
Yeah, so it attaches to the spring. Yeah, it's that cable.
Oh, that's got the weight cable on it. I see.
Right. Yeah. So it's
that is old.
It's the counterbalancing deal with the spring. Yeah.
It's got a pulley and everything on it. They don't do that anymore. And
Yeah.
now
Well, like I said, 1982. 1982.
That's the other thing I like is the torsion springs. So much better.
Where are we going, Collins?
I am earning my Thanksgiving dinner by bringing wood to my neighbor.
Oh,
Yeah. Hey, trolling for dollars. If it works, don't replace it.
Yep.
But the only thing I do think is the if it's that old, 30 years old, you probably don't have the little blocking sensors like if you have children.
So now they have the optical sensors. They've got something. They've got some kind. They've got a pressure sensor on this one.
Yeah. Well, he
But
was
not
saying
the
his is
optical.
30 years old. Trolling for dollars says his is 30 years old, so I doubt he's even got the opticals on it.
no.
Which means if
No,
he's got
the opticals came in like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, a little longer than that. Late 70s, early 80s, they started. I think it was late
Well, I mean,
70s.
I've got
it
the
was like
pressure
an option.
sensor in mine. Mine came in. Mine was built in '82.
Yeah, so it was law by
So-
then.
Yeah.
They came in and they quickly made them a law that if you installed a new one, you had to have those opticals because it's just ridiculous not to.
Right.
I mean,
So
they don't really
at this
cost
point,
anything.
I can push the button and walk out the door, and I'm fine. Whereas the optic got to jump over a damn laser. Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Not
got
hit your
children,
head
that's
on the door.
What?
And not hit your head on the door.
Well, yeah, you have to be slightly coordinated. Yes.
Well, I mean,
Or
to jump over the laser and not hit your head on the door.
no nanny crap on my garage.
Yes, you have to be a child. At one point, I had a child demonstrate this to me that I needed to be aware that their place, their mother's place had an optical sensor. I'm like, okay, good to know.
Are you at work today, Vince, or are you actually home, or are you on call there? Hope you're at home for Thanksgiving. I know you guys probably have a hell of a feast at the station.
Well, I got a bulk because I got to go hang out with my nieces and nephews at least some.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just, like I say, I just started this for everybody to come in and wish each other well for Thanksgiving.
All right, I'm bolting for a little while. I might come back if you're still on.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Collins is on his way to his neighbors. We'll see you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Have a good one.
So, and then there was us working till 7 p.m. Then at home, have dinner with the family. Well, that's good. I'm glad at least home to the family. Sorry, you're breaking up. You're doing that drive thing that doesn't like it too much. Oh, yeah, that's what that is. That's why there's a hole there. There's a hole there. All right, guys. I don't know. It was fun, though. I mean, I'm glad everybody stopped in and said, hey. I got a little bit here, about 15 minutes before I got to go. Had to Ma's hot place. And we're serving lunch or dinner or whatever at noon. So that's about 40 minutes, 38 minutes. About 38 minutes I get to eat. Dog cheese is a duck. Just duck plate. Not the duck plate guy. That's funny. But then we lost Collins. Now it's me.
No, I'm sort of vaguely still here.
Oh, okay.
Shockingly.
Yeah, no, you just got your sign up there.
I guess that's the mobile networking. We're gonna save your bandwidth or something approach.
That could be. That could be. You sound good though.
Well, that's good.
Not all choppy or anything, so it sounds pretty darn good. Now my daughter doesn't have to watch YouTube all the time. She's got this Roku, man. She just wants that to watch all her videos on.
It'd be nice to just have a big screen with YouTube.
It has YouTube on it. You just have to sign in.
There you go.
Anyway, yes, I'm gonna go deal with this. I will be back later, maybe. Have a good one.
Like I say, I gotta go here shortly too. So thanks for stopping, Collins. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, bye-bye. Then there was me. Like I say, I just wanted everybody to have somewhere to go and wish everybody well. And I'm glad everybody stopped in. Went a lot longer than what I thought it was going to. I mean, Mom had one going and only showed up for his. And I thought Don was doing one today, or one of them too. Don didn't even show up to this one, so I just figured I'd jump in and start one. Just so everybody to say, howdy do. But I got a 10-hour print going on the ender there, printing some more these parts for the new camera mount. See if these work. And carbon fiber, they didn't work because of the pressure. It broke when you went to stick these in there. So they didn't like that. I don't know if these are going to work out the best either. I wonder if I had nailed them in the oven or something. It would make them better, wouldn't it? I torched the hell out of these trying to get them to do better. Like this one here. You see how nice and shiny it is? This is carbon fiber, and I hit it with the torch. And I don't know if that helped or not. It didn't help that. They're broke, and I tried melting it back in. Is there anything I can do for you?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
What? Can I help you? You going to say Happy Thanksgiving to everybody? Let me look at it. Some there. Whoops. Oh, okay, right there. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy dog. A big old mushy sit. You're not eating my candy either. That's mine.
Eat it, eat it.
And that's my daughter. Say Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Everything, give it.
I don't know. I gotta figure out how to get that to turn a little bit. I don't know, but my head's in there, you know.
No, your head's not even.
Well, it is and it isn't. You don't know that because half of it's hidden. See.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna put this up there. Oh, this girl. Oh, God, dude.
Look at her little jacket.
Back her up. Oh, she's got a little unicorn for a dog. Has to wear clothes.
She loves it.
She ain't got no hair or nothing, so she needs clothes on. But freaking dog.
Are you eating something, or have you been running? Because your mouth is foaming.
She's drunk because I got candy over there. See what it? That's what the garage sound. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, her mouth is just, it looks like she puked.
Yeah, she could have. Got myself.
Where?
Right here.
Ow!
Ow. Oh, you gotta lick the tutor? I'll go away and lick it. I don't need to do that on screen. That's kind of gross. Anyways, guys. Yeah, we're wrapped up. Got 7 people in. Once again, wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see what's going on tonight. Maybe we'll pop in again and see how everybody's dinner went. Or, I don't know, maybe somebody else will be streaming. stop in and say hi. Appreciate everybody coming. And this was an unscheduled one. It's Thursday. I never do them on Thursday. Anyways, thanks for coming, guys. If I can figure out where my stop button is, I am going to stop streaming now. And you guys have a good day.